Now we're back to our box. That slides in. Now we can go ahead and glue this together. And now that the other side is already glued together, I'm not constantly fighting, pushing that off of there. Take your nail gun and 2 shots. Keep everything nice and tight. Now I know that this can move a little, and what we're going to do is take a wooden dowel and stick it directly into each end, about 1 inch long. We'll deal with that in just a moment. But make sure that's all centered and everything is together right. Now we're going to make those dowels and we'll drill the holes. They are 1/4 inch dowels. So we have a 1/4 inch bit. We're going to drill straight through. I grabbed a dowel out of the back, 1/4 of an inch. Now the jig we're going to use on this one to cut is found right here behind it. And it just simply fits in this little groove, this notch. Okay, so what I want is to set this to bump into my stop. Usually it's set much lower and you're bumping into this, and that's no good. You won't actually cut. So you unscrew, raise it to about here, tighten it back up, and then that's where it stops. That's the stop. Now on this little jig, we use this for pieces for dowels for the wooden safes, but it works just fine. I have a 1/2 inch cut here, 1 inch cut on this black line, and a 2 1/4. I want 1 inch, 2 of them, 1 for each end. So you just stick this in the hole. And again, you can see right there, up to 1 inch, and go ahead and cut. That prevents you from going so far that I'm going to pull the blade back when I back up. Back up the same place, and we're done. Please hang this back up when you're finished, and we can put in our dowels. The last step for the parts before sanding are putting in these little dowels. We just take our 1/4 inch drill bit, and what I like to do is first get it centered. Now I still have my little lines on there so I can center it, and it looks pretty good. So I put my drill bit right here, keep it as vertical as I can, and start drilling. Just get it started. Now I don't want to actually damage the side here, so I just push it out a little bit, right there, and continue your cut. Now, before I go all the way through, I know it's going to tear out. It always does. So all you need to do is take a block of junk that you find, just put it underneath and hold it right there. And you'll kind of feel it go in. And then I end up with a nice clean hole that this should fit in. Good. I don't want to push it in quite yet. You usually want to put a dab of glue. Flip it around, do it again. So we get that lined up with the edge of that hole, and that's right on the money, just where I want it. We do exactly the same thing right there. And then pull it out so we don't do any damage to the side. And put your block. And there we go. Clean up any tear out that may have happened. Now, if this is very loose, I mean, you can put it in by hand, then you might want to put a dab of glue. If it's very tight, then you probably don't even need glue. In my case, I'm going to put just a little bit. It doesn't take much. Just like that, and kind of even that out. If I put a big glob of glue, then it kind of scrapes it off and leaves it on the top, and I don't want that to happen. So there we go, just kind of push, and if I had a hammer, use that. And I'll feel it come out the bottom about the same amount as the top. Okay, flip it around, we do the same thing. Just a touch of glue on the end, and that's more than enough to keep it from moving around in there. There we go. And just pull this into place and push that in. You can either hit it or you can just push. There we go, and I can feel it coming out the end just like that. And you have a box. And the last thing we have to do on any project, I've still got these dings on the ends. You've got your rabbets that stick out just a little bit, needs to be sanded off, and I'll need to putty the joint, and of course your nail holes. So putty everything, sand everything, and then we can spray it down.